Hi, Carol from Crinkled Path here with another Summer Memories memory keeping episode in my altered cookbook. Junk journal. Did I get all the names? It's a pretty long list, but trying to be descriptive. So growing up, I had this set of books, and they are First Adventures in Learning. I'm going to guess my cousins that took care of me may have got these for me. They're Golden Press, with company that makes little golden books. And this was the thinking book. There were several in the series, but this was my absolute favorite. And the illustrations were my favorite part. And then the reason I like this book the best, and I was probably a toddler when I really enjoyed these, was that you had to point at things and identify things and use your brain. It was the thinking book. And I just really remember feeling smart and like I knew the answers to things. And this is a book that my family would read with me a lot, mostly because I requested it. But I remember doing things like a horse goes to the barn and the dog goes to the doghouse, that kind of thing. But my absolute most favorite page in this book, and get to it, was this one. And I don't even know if it's all gonna fit on the screen here. Maybe if I do that. So the funny thing was that this is the first time I remember actually kind of joking around and having a sense of humor. And I remember it would just crack my mom up because Tom and Sue were going to the swimming pool. Help them find the right path to take. And you're supposed to, follow along the road and go into the pool. But I would be, way up and over here, or I would come down and walk through the school, and my mom would make a big fuss about, no, that's not the way to go. And anyway, I just remember her laughing and laughing about it, and so I actually thought I was funny. And so this brings back such wonderful memories, and the book is just absolutely amazing. The artwork, very sweet. This reminded me a lot of my family because I had an older brother, I had an older sister. We had a dog. We did not have cats or rabbits. I think because the dad is kind of older looking in this picture. I don't know, he looks tired. That just describes my dad. Yeah. with a baby much later in life than they anticipated, I guess. Anyway, this is just a quick look at my favorite sweet children's book that I enjoyed, and that this was the one that I liked that wasn't a story. You just kind of participated along with the book. And so what I ended up doing, you can tell it's kind of worn. This one is worn out. What I ended up doing was I ended up scanning that page. Oh, this was another favorite page, where this was them going and this is them coming home, and you had to kind of come up with a story for what happened in between. So it really was a book that made you think. Anyway, let me get to what I was trying to say, which is that I took the book and I scanned my two favorite pages, and I'm going to cut them out and put them on the pages here. One of those things where I'm going to scan it to put into this book to help me preserve my memory. Again, you can't scan and sell images. This book was copyrighted in 1970, so the copyright is still alive and well. And I'm going to have to get a little bit creative here. I've been learning about my new printer, and I learned how to put 2 pictures on a page today. Aren't you proud of me? I'm still using my Thinker. And I'm not sure how to resize the pictures though. And so I have a feeling they're going to be just a little bit big for the page. So we'll have to do a little bit of cropping, hopefully not too much. I think one of the other reasons that I really liked this page was because it reminded me so much of summers in my neighborhood, because my mom was working. So in the summers, I would stay home with my teenage sister. She was supposed to be in charge of me, but pretty much the neighbor family adopted me, and we had a community swimming pool in our neighborhood, and it was called the Cabana Club. And over the years, I think my parents might have been members 1 or 2 years, maybe when I was like junior high age, because it seems like I rode my bike down there and went quite a bit in junior high. But before that, as a little kid, 4 years old, when I would have still been maybe reading this book, my neighbor family friends who seemed to have adopted me really did, because they got a family plan for the pool, and they just included me as one of their children. And I think I shared when I did my first videos of my memory keeping journal, the one I did before this one, that my best friend, I looked more like her family than she did. We were both the recessive trait kiddos in her family. I was the blue-eyed blonde in a family full of olive-complected, hazel-eyed folks. See, it's a little wide. And she was the brunette in a family full of blondes. So consequently, I looked more like her brother than she did. And a lot of people thought her brother and I were twins, because we were both very fair with that towhead, almost white blonde hair. But the fringe benefit of that was nobody really questioned when they brought me to the pool. And so I got to go to the pool a lot, and we would walk. It was quite a ways opposite end of the suburb from where we lived. We would ride our bikes, or we would walk. Sometimes when it was 100 and whatever, their mom would have mercy and drive us down there, but she was pretty much always with us when we went, especially at these young ages. So I tried to look up to see if there were any photos on the internet of the Cabana Club. And all I came up with was this one, which you can barely tell because the picture is so pixelated. But this was the entrance. And then there was a women's locker room and a men's locker room, and the snack bar was there. And so it looks very familiar to me. It looks like a group of kids that I would have had playing in the pool when I was that age. And then I found this, which is the sign that is on the outside of the building. So I thought I would cut those out to remind me of those days at the pool. Go ahead and trim this just a smidge so it fits on the page. Try not to cut this kid off who's trying to get in the pool. I remember that they had a low dive and a high dive, and I always wanted to go off that high dive, probably when I was a little older, but I was a chicken. I would get up there and I would stand there and I would try and get my nerve up to jump, and I don't remember jumping off the high dive very many times. Just going up and climbing down the ladder. So did you have a favorite swimming hole or swimming pool that you went to? I know I had a couple friends in elementary school who had pools in their yard, and that was pretty rare. One girl had a pool because she was on a swim team, so her parents, like, that was her thing that she did, and so her parents bought a house with a pool, or put a pool in, I'm not sure which, but I remember going to a birthday party there, a birthday party slash slumber party. I think it was the first time I ever spent the night at a slumber party. She was in the grade behind me, and we went to school together for 12 years because she started in the kindergarten program at the school when I was in first grade. So I probably went to a few parties at her house over the years. I need to get a new blade for my trimmer. When the paper is light, it wants to just bunch it up instead of cutting it. When I was a kid, pools and trampolines were rare. And now it seems like pretty much everybody has one, at least in California. At home, it was mostly sprinklers, kiddie pools, and slip and slides was about as exciting as it got at home. So it was a real treat to get to go to the pool. Need to find something to cover this up. Got this piece of 1970s fabric. That might be able to cover that up, and it's kind of similar colors. Let me see if I can find something else for here. I think I'm going to use this guess check because I seem to recall when we got to splurge at the snack bar, they still had to handwrite the orders. So then I can just do my journaling straight on there. I still feel like it needs something else, but I'm not sure what. I think I'm going to glue this down, and then we'll see what else I can come up with that it might need. I love this metal tip for that kind of stuff where you just can slide it under. I have this little piece that is part of a book binding, I think, but it's got this little bit of like red or pink. It really matches the numbers. So I think I'm just gonna do a quick little cluster kind of thing here. guess what? I'm not happy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. If you're not happy, there's no harm in starting over. So this is also from the 70s, but it just blends better with the colors in the old book. And I feel like that piece down here was drawing attention away from the focus of my favorite book pages. I like that much better. Let's try and get a little more something on this, on the bottom of this page. Well, my composition meandered a bit today, but unlike my wandering finger as a child, I wasn't trying to be silly. And it's okay to follow where your inspiration leads you. And it's okay that if you don't like something to just redo it. That's one of the nice things about working with junk, right? So I'm gonna do my journaling on this card, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.